If we are looking for a shop manager, Peter Obi will have been the best candidate for Nigeria. Unfortunately for him, Nigeria is not a shop. Nigeria is a country. It's a state. So we need.
So, guys, I decided to share this video with you so that you can hear for yourself what this APC member is saying. So, guys, this is a youth who is supposed to represent the Nigerian youths, and also speak for them. But look, he has joined, these old politicians and, he's no more speaking for the Nigerian people, especially the youths. I want you to take your time and listen to this interview where he told us that, Tinubu's economic plan is far better. This is the Tinubu we know cannot even come out, for any debate. He has the best economic plan for the Nigerian people. This is what he said. And he ended up, telling the world that Peter Obi is good for a shop manager, not for the position of the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That if Nigerians were looking for a shop manager, that Peter Obi would be a good fit and not to represent Nigerians as their president. So guys, when I listen to some of these languages used by the APC people, I just conclude that people don't have shame anymore because, going by the record of APC, they are not even supposed to have the boldness to come out and talk to the Nigerian people. Look at how bold he is on camera. Looking at where Nigeria is today, should the APC people, should the APC members have boldness, to come out to talk to Nigerians that they are going to change Nigeria, that they are going to change Nigeria if given the privilege to come back to power? Remember, these are the people that have destroyed Nigeria, and the youths are crying that we need somebody to rescue Nigeria. Remember, people are not following Peter Obi because of his person. People are now looking for somebody they can trust, who can come and really mean business when it comes to helping Nigeria come out from where these politicians have thrown Nigeria to. So, guys, let me just allow you listen to what this APC member said. And looking at him, you can see that he is a youth. He is a youth who is supposed to speak for the youth, who is supposed to stand for the youth. And as an educated person, he should look at what is happening in Nigeria and see if there is anything he can hold on to tell Nigerians to vote for APC again. Fellow Nigerians, we must get it right this time because we are dealing with people who do not have shame, as in, normally, they are not even supposed to come out to tell Nigerians to vote them into power again, meaning that PDP is even better than them because at the time PDP said, Nigerians, we are sorry, forgive us, we have erred. But you see APC, upon what they are doing to the Nigerian people, they still don't feel it. So guys, let me just allow you watch this video and let me know what you think in the comment section. He said Peter Obi is fit for a shop manager. If you are still undecided, I want you to join the Peter Obi's camp. Join the obedient family. Peter Obi said, hold me responsible. It's not like PDP and APC. When you tell APC that they've not done it well, they said PDP destroyed this 16 years ago. Peter Obi said, hold me responsible, meaning his government is not going to be like the one we are experiencing today. They've been shifting blame since they came into power, and even till now that their tenure is expiring, they keep shifting blame to the PDP. But I tell you, Peter Obi said, hold me responsible, hold me. I'm not going to shift the blame to APC, neither to PDP, even though they've destroyed Nigeria, but I'm going to stand up to the occasion. I'm going to take up the mantle of leadership and I'm going to work as a leader. That is what Peter Obi is promising the Nigerian people. So if you have not joined the obedient family, what are you waiting for? Join the obedient family and let us all come together to vote for Peter Obi. And if you are an obedient out there, please, have you collected your PVC? Please go get your PVC so that our support will make meaning. If we are supporting Peter Obi without our PVCs, it doesn't make sense. So please, I know it might be so inconveniencing, but But please do your best to get your PVC. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Turn on the notification bell. It's very important so that each time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. And don't forget to give this video a like so that YouTube can suggest it to others. Thank you and God bless you. Bye.
Member of the All Progressives Congress, Adamu Garba, who represents the youth wing of the party. So good to have you around, Adamu. Well, let's begin with your presidential candidate touring southern Nigeria, and then saying that he would develop the Niger Delta as a son-in-law. He deserves to be given an opportunity. That was in Delta State. And then, of course, he's promising to dialogue with agitators, whether the ESN or IPOB, in the southeast of the country. And then, of course, you have him having a rally in Lagos, his home state, today. Talk to us about this before we come to that swipe that he took against Tukata, Atiku Abubakar, and, of course, Labour Party's candidate, Peter Obi.
Yes, I think when you look at the rally, you will see where actual politics is taking place and where, jamboree is taking place. Look at his appearance in Ebonyi State. This is a backyard of one of the, oppositions like Peter Obi. But see what happened in Ebonyi State. The entire Ebonyi State was shut down for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu because they want to discuss sincere issues. And his promises of offering dialogue to the agitators means that it's a promise of someone who has proven track record of dialoguing with people that have been agitating. Remember when Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu became the president of Lagos State, there was this uprising about OPC. When he became the governor of Lagos State, there was this uprising about OPC and co. He was able to mainstream them, clean them, put them into the formal systems, and today they become the engine room of Lagos development and growth. So this is the kind of person that have track record of discussing with dissidents and bringing them into the formal system, because they are Nigerians too. So the simple thing is give them what is supposed to be given to them by showing them that there is need for you to abandon that activity that you are doing that is illegal, that is criminal, that is destructive, and come and develop the country. So if somebody like him is offering this kind of opportunity, I think all ESN and IPOB need to drop all their rubbish and quickly rally behind Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu very quickly, because he always promises things and he always delivers on his promises.
Now, when you say this is rubbish, I mean, some people will tell you that, these agitations are for real. The East is almost being neglected in governance, and then it hasn't received some of the major infrastructure projects that the APC government is doing in other parts of the country. The railway project is nowhere to be found in the Southeast. Isn't that the reason for the agitations? Isn't the APC also contributing to the reason why people in the Southeast part of the country
Southeast is doing
don't
bad
feel
politics.
carried along?
No, the South is doing bad politics. Politics is participation. And participation, nobody can drag you to come and participate. You must come. You must present yourself. You must be at the table. But the situation whereby when the government and the country and the people are saying, let's go west, you decided to want to go to the east. When we are saying, okay, let's go to the east, you decided to go to the north. Then it means you are doing something wrong.
Yeah, isn't it within their democratic rights to actually say that
within their democratic rights.
But if the APC wins and it's as the government in power, the federal government, shouldn't the federal government spread projects all across the country?
It is their within democratic power to disagree. But it is also within their democratic power to agree that they lost. So these are all two things. So it's not all about participation. It's all about right without responsibility. Since you took your right to go negative and then you fail, then you must accept the responsibility of having negatives. So the only solution for the East now, right now, this is the right time to right the wrongs. Join APC in drops. Forget about this euphoria that you are seeing about obedient and the time turn for the Igbos. Join someone that has the capacity, that have a track record of delivering the right outcome, that have the capacity to negotiate with the agitators and bring them on the table, value them, whitewash them, and put them on track to economic prosperity and growth.
Does that mean you don't believe in the power shift that is being talked about, especially power shift to the Southeast? I mean, if they have a presidential candidate in the person of Peter Obi, why should they be voting for your candidate?
We believed in the power shift. Even in the last primary election of our party, you have Dave Umahi aspired. You have a former minister, who also aspired. So we have so many.
Two of them
actually aspired. In fact, two of the ministers aspired. They lost. So this is simple. It's just a game. You win, you participate. Ronaldo and Messi or Man U and Chelsea lost to Man U, and it's done. So the best solution, accept the winner. Rally behind the winner and build your future around the winner. Nobody will deny you participation until you deny yourself.
All right.
It is wrong to get into 21st century where the whole world is becoming turbulent and you're playing bad politics. It is wrong.
Now, David Umahi was actually one of the other presidential aspirants too, serving governor.
Yes.
With this Eboyin rally, do you think he's trying to prove something to Tinubu that, look, just leave the other side of the Southeast that may be aggrieved with you or the party, we can be able to mobilize people for you to help you get at least 25%. Is that the kind of message you think David Umahi is trying to pass?
I think David Umahi is showing us what the grassroots are talking about, not really what the online euphoria is talking about. Because some of the traffic, when you track this online traffic, they are coming mostly from Lagos, from urban centers like Abuja, some even from the North America, United States, and some from Europe. So the core grassroots trust Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and that's what David Umahi demonstrated to us. That is not all about Ebonyi, it's about the whole of Southeast. When it is time for the real game to be played, the real vote to be casted, they know who to vote, and that's Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
And you think that these people who listen to Tinubu actually believe what he said? Do you think that his message resonated with people there and they can trust him to actually resolve the issues of IPOB and ESN and other grievances if he becomes the president of Nigeria?
Absolutely. Because take this man's track record. When he became the governor of Lagos, the Lagos was a jungle. Everywhere was blood. In fact, you hardly trek within few kilometers without seeing dead body on the street. Pickpockets everywhere, crime everywhere, destruction everywhere. Even the Nollywood movies that have been played that time was portraying crime. Semblance of Lagos. Immediately he came, he created a sane environment. He had even issues with the federal government. He said, you, these people that they are condemning as evil, it is you that I'm going to mainstream, clean up, bring you into the system, and we will develop Lagos together. Today, that is what we're having. Lagos is the most safest city, the most secure city in Nigeria. Lagos is one of the most economically developed states in the whole of Africa. In fact, the fourth largest economy in Africa. So when you look at all those statistics, you will see a man that have said and do. And what we need is somebody who can think and do. And if IPOB, ESN, and all the agitators in the Southeast are not seeing Tinubu as a pathway, then that means they are playing another bad politics again. Because Tinubu is actually their candidate.
Well, Lagos is actually the fifth most developed economy
fantastic
on the continent.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about his movement to the Niger Delta. Of course, you saw the Deputy President of the Senate, who is the governorship candidate of the APC in that state, all receiving him. He went to Baramatu. He actually met with some of the key players. And the accusation is it's also with people like Tompolo and all of that. Tinubu is beginning to, dialogue or to consider people who have, a violent history against the Nigerian state. Wouldn't that count against him?
It's not. To the best of my knowledge, I think he is being pragmatic. There had been so much attack against the so-called agitation in the Niger Delta since Abacha days, which was the dictatorial times. Was there any success? No. So the best solution is if these people express willingness to join the formal economy and work for Nigeria, not against Nigeria, then who are you as a leader not to accommodate them? After all, you are in a leader to support and promote public good and to encourage people to do public good. So a situation whereby you have Tompolo, who used to do something evil and now come back and say he wants to do something good in the interest of Nigeria, you will not be a good leader to throw him away, because you are going to create multiple Tompolos that will come against Nigeria in the future. So the best solution is bring these people together. Let's see what we can do. And this man have track record of finding a way to use this kind of people, leverage on their talent and intelligence, and grow a system like he did in Lagos.
And that's the problem with the APC. People are accusing your party of having romance dissidents who have risen against the Nigerian state over the years instead of punishing them. And that's why we are having issues. For example, Boko Haram repentance being rehabilitated instead of being taken to court and being prosecuted, and people saying that they've been jailed and all of that. Now you are asking IPOB and ESN, look, don't worry, we'll find a way to accommodate you. Instead of punishing them if some of them are found to have done wrong. And then the issues of Tompolo and all of that, getting these billions of contracts, which in what people say in other sense society, people like this who participated in such issues, they're supposed to be subject to the law. It's APC having a formal policy of integrating or romancing dissidents who have some grievances against the Nigerian state?
No, let me explain to you a scenario. When you go to a war front and you are fighting an enemy, and suddenly the enemy say he has surrendered, he has dropped the guards, he is willing to come and listen, submit, and obey the laws of the land, then why are you fighting the war? Except if you're a warmonger, you just want to kill, you just want to destroy. These people willingly express their desire to join the Nigerian state and advance the cause for the good of the country.
So Nigerians should
How
be
do you throw
afraid
them
when there's
away?
people like Asari Dokubo joining the campaign and all of that?
Yes, no, at all. Let me even give you an example, like the case of Boko Haram in the northeast. Today, based on statistics, nearly 70,000 members of Boko Haram decided to throw their arms and join Nigeria. They have surrendered.
Shouldn't they have been prosecuted?
No,
is it just
I'm
enough
saying.
to just say you're dropping
It is
arms
a
and
war.
not paying for crimes? How
a-
about those Nigerians who were killed, who died innocently in the
It is-
hands of
it
these
is a
people?
war. When
Or
you-
those who stole the oil, which is supposed to have been meant for, the common good of all Nigerians?
That's why I give you an example of a war front where you have a surrender publicly demonstrated. When they come into the formal system, that is when you begin to see what you can do as a check and balance against them. But the situation whereby somebody is behind the curtain, what are you going to do about it? You just keep shooting.
Okay.
So now they are coming into the foray. We can see them, we can identify them, we know them, we can discuss with them. Some of them can be very strong, valuable intelligence assets. Some of them can be very good assets in terms of development progress for Nigeria. Some of them may turn out to be bad assets, but we have their history. So it's easy for you
it's
to
a
track
sort of
them.
reconciliation.
It's a very good way of doing things in Nigeria, especially the country that is this turbulent.
Okay, let's
Yes.
go to the politics, being played here and there.
Yes.
We could hear your candidate taking a swipe at Atiku Abubakar, saying that he has been running several years. He should just, step aside. It's the same thing that he said while he was in Kaduna against him, that Atiku has been running for too long and he should have been tired by now. He should drop out for him. Why Tinubu? If Atiku is going to drop out, will it be for Tinubu? And then also he took a swipe at Peter Obi for, always bringing out statistics which he says is fake, and of course even the Indians cannot solve, and all of that. Why do you think Tinubu is saying all of this?
Yes, you see, the case of His Excellency, the former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, whom I respect so much. I take him as a father, as a political leader. I come from Adamawa State. He's my traditional title holder. But I always say that if he truly cares and believes in the progress and development and growth of Nigeria, the best thing he should have done is to stop aspiring and go and queue behind Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Because when you compare the proposal of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in his renewed hope manifestos, and then compare what Atiku Abubakar under the PDP is trying to offer this country, it's time up for them. They should just surrender. They have nothing to offer. Everything they tabulated in their manifesto is Nigeria with a leaf for sale on top of it. Every other thing will be sold out to other people that are even outside Nigeria. A pure neo-colonialist kind of agenda. They are trying to push Nigeria back into what we used to have in the northern, in some of the francophone countries, whereby they are dictated from the foreign power. So a situation whereby your entire proposal is packing Nigeria and selling it, and then you now see somebody that tell you, no, you don't even need to sell it. It can actually be turned around for the benefit of every citizen of the country. Then you don't have any reason why you shouldn't support that. So I believe Atiku is a respected elder statesman in Nigeria. His best way out is to go and queue behind Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, leave PDP, come and join APC and work for the success.
Actually, he was in the APC before.
Yes, he has to come
there's
back.
also this thinking that both of them, Asiwaju and Atiku Abubakar, are just too old to become presidents of Nigeria.
No.
What do you say to that before we go to that?
I don't agree
Because
with
they are
that.
gerontocrats.
It's
That's
not
what
issue
people are
of
saying.
gerontocracy. It's issue of process. It's issue of the established procedure of becoming a candidate in a political party participation. So if you participated and eventually the elderly among you emerge, then you don't have any reason why you shouldn't support them, because the entire system trusts them with the capacity, and they do definitely have this capacity and competencies. If you look at what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu tabled, you will see clearly that we are having a new Nigeria in the making with this man as a president of this country. In fact, this man is going to consolidate and position Nigeria to be one of the most powerful countries, to me, I think, in Africa.
So why didn't he provide that support to President Buhari while Buhari is in power?
No, he has done a lot.
Because
he has done a lot.
Are saying that if he's promising some of these things, shouldn't it have started?
No,
Since they all combined together.
This party is only 7.5 years old in government. It's still growing. So many successes have been recorded so far.
You want to equal the 16 years of the PDP before you're able to bring your promises to fruition?
In fact, by the time we reach 16 years in government, Nigerian currency naira will be the African dominant currency under Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Write this down.
Very interesting.
Write this
Another promise again as we head to the elections. How about Peter Obi?
Peter Obi, in fact, his shop economic model has been acknowledged by everybody, including some of his supporters. What I see his supporters as is people that are just ventilating their anger, not necessarily trusting him. Every single statistics he doles out are fake or a shopman economic model, like our leader and principal said. He is just talking about a warehouse economic model, whereby you just buy and sell and make profit. Very cheap, minimalist approach to economic management. When you are talking about statecraft, macroeconomic, international trading system economy, where there's an established rule-based order that governs this procedure, you don't understand this thing. You're talking about sitting in the shop and making profit, and then you say you want to be president. If we are looking for a shop manager, Peter Obi will have been the best candidate for Nigeria. Unfortunately for him, Nigeria is not a shop. Nigeria is a country. It's a state. So we need a statecraft economist, someone like Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who understands the international working system of economy. And even if you look at his renewed manifesto, you will see the macroeconomic plans, the microeconomic plans, the infrastructure plan, industrialization plan are all linked up together. This is the first time that we have in the history of Nigeria since 1960 that our budget, if Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu becomes the president, is going to be presented in Naira, not pegged against US dollar again. This is very strong economic progress.
Hasn't it always been pegged?
No. Usually it's pegged against dollar.
Okay.
But this time around, he said, no, dollar will have its own direction. Its direction is go and build infrastructure and link my suppliers between buyers and sellers in the economy so that we can have industrialization, we can have housing policy, we can have agricultural policy, we can have so many other important objectives that is supposed to build Nigeria. But for Naira, we must use Naira where Naira is required. There is no need for me to want to import a shoe and I'm going to CBN to look for dollars.
Won't Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu be accused of hate speech from the kind of comments that he had made, against Atiku Abubakar? If Atiku Abubakar has been running for so long and he's been accepted, and then of course the issue of Peter Obi, isn't it right? Is he right to be quoting statistics that he thinks is actually required? Based on some of his research, he actually gets some, not that it's all that's wrong.
Yes, but that's why I say a shopman person can be like him. But what Asiwaju said, in fact, what Asiwaju made, the statement he made in that speech shows very clearly that this man is a very avid reader and a strong researcher, because you understand the principle of mathematics or arithmetic computation, most of which is coming from India.
What do you make of all
so you now referred him to India.
What of all the gaps that your candidate, you could actually hear him during the week making all sort of gaps that a lot of people on social media are using to just talk about him. Isn't it that he has some sessions and all of that? Because people are using to count against him that Tinubu seems to be too old to be able to govern Nigeria, that he doesn't remember some things at times and some words and then making comparison, for example, between electricity and corn. That's unrelated.
You see people,
and then of course people just
you would have been
watching those social media videos yourself.
No, I watch it. Let me see. People just don't get it. This man is always thinking of the last man standing. The last man needs electricity for what he can eat. How can he eat? By what he farm in his own farmland. What Asiwaju is saying is that the electricity that PDP supplied in Nigeria for the period of 16 years after spending $16 billion cannot even roast a corn.
Isn't it on that the APC is building on with the Presidential Power Initiative that President Buhari has brought in place?
That is why we have electricity here now. That is why we have electricity in many places in the country. That is why today electricity very steady. In fact, we have recorded, if you look at the failure of national grid that we recorded between 1999 and 2015, and then you compare with what we have now, about 100 and something national breakdown, while for that other period about 500 times, you will see very clearly that Nigerian electricity problem is getting solved gradually. In fact, with the Kolmani oil well that we discovered in Bauchi now, is also going to add additional 300 megawatt of electricity supply. We just recently launched the one that is 700 megawatts in Zungeru, and so many other places are coming. And we now have a very strong, organized electricity management approach that has never been recorded in the history of Nigeria. About 18 different electricity
as we
projects.
are rounding off this conversation, you and I also know that a lot of young Nigerians consist of the chunk of voters that are going to vote. And many of them seem to be expressing concerns that, look, Tinubu doesn't, capture their thoughts very well. They want a president that's able to go out there to several nations, several international conferences, to stand side by side. And, you can see him very vibrant and so on. I don't know. You've seen pictures where they say Tinubu was being supported, he's not strong and all of that. What do you make when you actually watch that and people trying to, make fun of a presidential candidate of the governing APC, the governing party in Nigeria?
I used to say Tinubu is a light. Whenever he appears, he creates opportunities. Some of the musics, I even like them myself because it's creative. This man is a blessing all over. Both his dark side and the light side are all a blessing. He's giving a lot of opportunities for young people. He is accused severally on social media and let me say digital media, But when you run the statistics of the digital media participations and also interactions so far in Nigeria among the political candidates, the so-called Peter Obi that they promote so much has only 37 million, interactions. Meanwhile, Ashua Jubola Ahmed Tinubu have 226 million impressions.
And what's the source of that, this particular
the source of this is the source is there now. It's all people that knows how to do that. We cannot tell them because we are working on our things.
Yeah, I mean, you're
able
an
to
IT
track.
expert
Yes,
yourself.
we are working to be able to track what's happening. But this is what is happening. He controls the social media without participating in social media. If you are talking about,
isn't it a negative portrayal?
Never.
You don't see negativity in all of it.
No, there are. But they are also promotion. It's interest. People only attract or interact with things they're interested in. And those periods are period of what I can say maybe euphoria. People usually vent their anger. But the period of trust is actually the period when voting is going to take place. And those are the people that Ashua, you paid attention to. This is the man that rallied in Ebonyi State strongly, rallied in Plateau State strongly, rallied in Delta State strongly. Currently, he's standing in Teslim Stadium doing rally, and people are thinking about.
So Nigerians shouldn't be worried about his health status.
This man is very
ready. Is it an overkill on social
capable.
media?
It's just an overkill. It's just the obedient interest. They are trying to.
Well, this is political season, and they have a right to actually express
Nobody
that.
Nobody said they don't have a right to express it, but they should also acknowledge the fact that they are pushing a very failed candidate.
So, but is the APC, just as we round up this, is the APC losing the social media war?
The APC is winning. That's why I tell you we have 226 million impressions.
Yeah, and it could be more of negative impression and not positive impression.
That's why I say they are negatives. But again, when you compare with the so-called Obi, people in Obi network like to talk about Ashua Ju much more than the way they talk about Peter Obi.
And when some young people hear you saying this, they'll say, look, it looks like Adamu Garba is sold out. How can a young man like you be talking and defending the status quo?
Why a young man like you?
That whether Atiku or Tinubu comes in, there will be state capture by these two gentlemen.
No.
So there's a need for a new order.
No. Why young people like me are supporting Ashua Ju is because we have his track record of building young people. He is the only leader among all these aspirants that have caught young people and position them in position of authority from the local government up to the ministerial level, up to the vice presidential office in every way. So he's a mentor. And what we need, our biggest cry as young people in Nigeria is to get a mentor, somebody that will show us the way. Only Ashua Ju have that
Well,
capability.
it's left for voters to decide on February 25th. But we must thank you so much. Former presidential aspirant and member of the All Progressives Congress, Adamu Garba, for joining us on the program to help us shed more light on some of the issues in the governing party. And of course, we couldn't talk about the beavers issues, but of course, we'll always have you some other time because that's also coming from another person that is considered a gerontocrat, your party national chairman.
No, it was a lie against him, media campaign against it, but we trust it. If our party can pass the electoral act that enable beavers, it's our party that controls both the two national assemblies. Instead of the